What's up? How's everybody doing out there in Shinyville? Huh? Welcome to another Coffee with Michael. It's the best eCom show on the planet. It's the best marketing show in the universe. It's the only show that Zuck watches from the metaverse. It's guaranteed to lower your CPMs, to increase your conversion rates. If you've had bad luck lately, it's about to turn around. Today, things are going to be different for you. If you've needed a breakthrough, if you've needed a sign, this is it. This show is your green light, your red pill to make your life different starting today. This is an invitation to uncommon action. This is, let's see, what else? To do things that are extraordinary so your life can be extraordinary. To do things that are extraordinary so your life can be extraordinary. How about that? Are you guys ready? Huh? Give me some, let's see, what emojis do I? Give me some pills in the chat. Pills in the chat if you're with me. You know, like the little red, yellow one? Give me some pills in the chat if you're with me and you're ready to do it. Huh? This is a turning point. There's somebody watching this. I don't know who you are. Maybe you're working a full-time job, and this is kind of, you're hoping you can kind of break free with this. Maybe it's side income. Maybe there's some bills you want to pay down. This is your ticket. This is your invitation, right? This could be the day that things change for you, right? This could be the day that your life takes a turn. You know what I'm saying? Because really, what we have here at ShineOn is an invitation. It's an opportunity, right? It's the chance for something different. But it all comes down to you and the action you are willing or unwilling to take. All right. All right. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Red pill. That's right. This is a red pill moment. Every single one of these. Every time you tune into Coffee with Michael, you're being put to a test. That's really how you should think about it. And the test is either you continue life as you have been, doing the same things you normally have, and then a year from now, you're going to wake up and you're going to have the same life. You're still going to be tuning into Coffee with Michael, looking for another opportunity, looking for that next thing to change your life. Or you can actually take what we're going to teach you today, put it into practice, and change things for the good. You know what I'm saying? All right. Are we pumped up today? What's up, Marvin? Are we pumped up? Okay. Let's do it today. We're going to be doing a little boot camp, okay? We're going to be talking about kind of how you succeed selling ShineOn products. If you want to sell boatloads of ShineOn products, today I'm going to teach you how. It is not going to be hidden in ad kung fu. There's no special TikTok, UGC techniques, or anything like that. You can learn all of that stuff. There's a gajillion videos on it, but that is not what's going to create a winning campaign. Today, I'm going to teach you the keys to build a winning campaign. And for some of you, this might be a refresher, some things you already know, and that's fine. It's good to be reminded of this stuff. All right, let's go. Okay, first, you know how we kick things off around here? The little digital marketer's toast. I have a little screenshot here. Every time we do one of these toasts, something magical happens. Look down. Here's what I want you to do. Look down at your phones right now. Everybody, look down at your phones. If you have your Shopify notifications on, notice you have no notifications right now, right? No sales right now. If you have to go in the app, go into the app. I want you to look at your revenue numbers. We're going to do the toast, and some of you are going to get sales during the toast. And that's because the toast is magical. You feel me? All right, let's read this on the screen. Hey, everyone, I'm a newbie. I launched my Shopify store last Friday after completing the 14-day challenge during Coffee with Michael. I noticed I got my first sale for $245.75. There's power in the toast, people. There's power in the toast. So, are you ready to partake? Are you ready to partake? Raise up your glasses, mugs, bottles, and flasks, and join me now for the Digital Marketer's Toast. Here's to more conversions, more cash, cheap CPMs, and lower CACs, to higher CTRs, much higher CVRs, to enabled ad accounts and big bank accounts, and upsells, downsells, and cross-sells, to winning products and repeat sales, and to the thing that everybody knows, the riches are in the niches, but also your email flows. Are you ready? Cheers, everybody. Drink up. There we go. There we go. I'm feeling it now. I'm feeling it now. Things were different right before the toast, and now they've changed, right? Are you feeling that? Life, something was flat before the toast, and now it's all fizzy after the toast. You getting me? There's a dopamine hit that just rang around the world from all those that participated in the toast, right? Friday just got better. Your weekend is going to be amazing now. You know it. If you got any sales during the toast, go ahead, look at your phone. Let us know in the chat. Anybody got any sales during the toast? Let's see it in the chat. A few of you may have even felt some tingles when we did that. Tingles from the top of your head to the bottom of your toes. That's the magic of the toast, people. That's the magic of the toast. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, there is power in this thing. There's power in it because we do it communally, right? All of us, there's 160 people watching this live around the world. Every continent is represented except Antarctica. You know what I'm saying? There's shiny power here. Shiny power here. Okay. You guys have probably had enough of my antics. Let's get going. So like this post. If you like what we do here every single week, do me a favor, like the post, heart the post, do all that fancy stuff. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave some comments. It tells all the social media platforms that you love us, and we dig that. Let's talk about some swag winners this week. First up, Brad Stone. I'm 7 days into the challenge this morning. I was listening to Coffee with Michael. My first sale came through. Told you, power over here, power over here. And it was an ad that had only been live for 30 minutes. Just as Michael was saying, the sale came through. When we were doing the toast, I had a sale come through. That's right. All you got to do is believe, people. Congratulations, Brad. Thank you for leaving your testimonial. We are going to send some swag your way, my friend. Someone from the team will be reaching out. You've got some swag coming your way. Next up, Danielle. OMG, I actually did it. Made my first sale after joining the 14-day challenge. I joined on 10/17, made the sale today, 11/16. Woo! I am stoked and so excited now. Anyone know how to get my money back? All right, so there's a benefit of the challenge where if you sign up for the challenge, it's $47. If you get a sale during the challenge, you have an opportunity to get your money back. So yeah, I think you just reach out to support there. Danielle, the challenge is so worth it. I'm not even all the way done. I can't do it every day, so I'm just plugging away as I can. Congratulations, $49.95 in revenue. That's amazing. Making your first sale online literally changes everything. Anybody that's done that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you for sharing. You got some swag coming your way. Next, Phil Howells. Yeppy, first sale in the bag. Let's rock and roll. Can't thank ShineOn staff and the events and coaching they put together, and with the amazing support staff. My good friend Zamil. Told you I wasn't giving up, Jim Cremella. Thank you for your support. If you do not give up for long enough, you win. If you don't give up for long enough, you win. Looky here. Speak of the devil. Phil in the chat. Yeppy, first sale. Coffee. Way to go. You've got some swag coming your way. Thanks for sharing. Next up is Brandon. Boom. First sale via TikTok on day one of TikTok ads. LF. Let's fudging go. Let's fudging go. We had to sanitize that for the holidays. Let's fudging go. Congratulations, Brandon. Thank you so much for sharing. You're awesome. 7688. That's amazing. This could be you, people. This could be you. Take action, implement what you're about to learn today. Go sign up for the challenge. When you get your first sale, share it in the group. We could feature you here. If you're featured here, you get some swag. You get some swag. We're going to reach out to you, give you a discount code to our merch store. We got all kinds of cool stuff. We have this ShineOn hoodie that I'm absolutely in love with. It's tie-dye. It fits me perfectly. I hardly ever wash this thing because I'm wearing it so much. I actually probably need to order 2 or 3 more of these so I can kind of rotate it out. Got some stains and stuff down here, but hey, I love it. I love this hoodie. Okay. If it's not a hoodie, I'm wearing one of my ShineOn t-shirts. We got all kinds of cool swag. So you want to be featured. right? It's cool. Okay, so we draw 2 to 5 posts from the group. We're looking for testimonials, screenshots, value posts, tips, tricks, and hacks, all that kind of stuff. If you get featured, you get some swag. Pretty cool deal. All right, let's go through some news real quick. First of all, we've got some shipping cutoffs to announce. Shipping cutoffs to announce. From the USA, our graphic and engraved items. The shipping cutoff is currently December 11th, 11:59 p.m. Eastern. December 11th, 11:59 p.m. Eastern. And then message card items are December 16th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. That means if you've received an order and you've paid for it, that part is important, and you have paid for the order, right? So that it's invoiced and been completed by 11:59 p.m. Eastern on each of these days, we will fulfill the order the following day. And according to USPS's promises, it should arrive by Christmas. Should be guaranteed for Christmas arrival. So that's in the USA. Here's the EU. It's a little different. In Central Europe, so we tried to highlight the countries to make this easy. Cutoff on message card and engraved products is going to be the 14th of December. And then other countries, I don't think that's right, actually. It'd just be message card products, 14th of December, and then other EU countries would be the 10th of December right here. We'll double check on the graphic and engraved stuff. That's not feeling correct to me. So stay tuned for maybe an updated graphic on this. But for message card items, it's going to be the 14th in Central Europe and then the 10th in other countries in Europe. We have Belarus kind of blacked out here. We are shipping into these areas, but we just cannot promise the delivery dates because of what's going on in that part of the world. All right, let's talk about the contest. If you want to join the Q4 contest and have a chance to win some prizes, go to ShineOnContest.com, ShineOnContest.com. You only have till the 30th to sign up. So we're getting kind of close to the end here for the sign-up period. So you have 12 days left. It's free to sign up. Everybody watching this should just go hit the URL, sign up right now. We have a special Facebook group. There's a little community of people that are doing it. We're dropping free message cards and all kinds of stuff over there. Plus, and the coolest part, this is what I like, there's a leaderboard over there on ShineOnContest.com, and you can actually see who is doing the best in the contest, and that's just super cool. So if you look here, Marvin Espina has almost 8,000 sales so far in Q4. Congratulations, Marvin. Everybody give him a hand. That's absolutely incredible. You have Elias with 2,396 sales, Gary at 2,070 sales, Washington Helps at 1,426 sales, and so on. It's really cool that the leaderboard's here. I like the competition. It's kind of fun. One thing to stay tuned on, though, is the next probably 3 or 4 weeks of sales, they increase exponentially. It's not like just linear growth week over week, with orders. It starts to increase exponentially. So anything could happen here. It's very possible anybody down here could grab a winner and really scale it to the moon and jump to first place. It literally can happen in a span of a few days when we get this deep into Q4. So stay tuned. It's absolutely incredible. Anything can happen here. ShineOnContest.com if you want to go sign up. Okay, we are in the App Store. If you have the app and you have not left us a review yet, I love you and I will forgive you, but this is your only chance. I would like it if you could go leave us a review. I would really appreciate it. apps.shopify.com/ShineOn. apps.shopify.com/ShineOn to leave us a review. Look, I tell you every single week, I'm taunting Printify that we're about to displace them in the search results, in the app search results. We are currently number 3. Printify's number 2. Printful's number 1. I've been taunting them on Twitter. Please do not let my taunts be in vain. This is a team effort. I need your support, team. Please go leave us a review. I'm looking for an honest review. Note, I am not asking for a 5-star review or a 4-star review. I'm asking for an honest review. It's against terms to ask for a 4 or 5-star review. So I'm intentionally not asking for 4 or 5 stars. I am asking for an honest review. I'd like an honest review. If it happens to be 4 and 5 stars, hey, that's amazing. That's amazing. I just would like your honest review. It'd mean the world to me. Here's how you can do it. You have time to do it right now. You can do this in another tab in Chrome that is permitted. If you go to apps.shopify.com, search for ShineOn in the search results. This is what the app looks like. Here's our little icons. Pretty cool. Once you land on the page here, you're going to want to scroll down to the very bottom. and you're going to have this write a review button. I want you to click that. Now, if anybody from Shopify is working, I think watching, you need to work on your call to actions here a little bit because that does not stand out very well. But at any rate, this is what I want you to click, family. Okay, write a review. I want you to click that, and then I just want you to give us some honest feedback. That's all I'm asking for is honest feedback. Whatever that feedback might be, it would mean the absolute world to us. Okay, it'd mean the absolute world to us. And then, you know, leave a review. I'll look the other way. Water under the bridge. We'll pretend like we'll pretend like you not leaving a review never happened. I'm just kidding. Just kidding about all that. I love you either way. Either way. Matt Ba, if you're watching, you though, on the other hand, you need to get out there and leave a review. Word on the street is that you have not. You have not. And I'm watching. All right, let's go. Let's go. ShineOnChallenge.com. If you want to sign up for the challenge, you notice there's tons of testimonials pouring in about people getting their first sale in the challenge. It's absolutely amazing. You want to go check it out, okay? I will tell you, when I started doing print on demand a bunch of years ago, I would have killed for a training like this. These types of resources did not exist. The challenge will literally walk you through picking out your name, registering your domain, registering your LLC, setting up your Shopify store. We have a Shopify theme now as part of this. I mean, you just got to go check it out. It's absolutely amazing. And it's $47. If you get a sale during it, you have a chance to get your money back. It's so low risk. As long as you put in the action, people, I'm telling you, I would have killed for this. And I would have absolutely killed for this. And you know, some people go, you'll spend $50, $100, $150,000 on a college degree, but some of you will balk at spending $47 on online education. Okay, that I will tell you now, that's inverted, that's upside down. You just need to do this. This is nothing. $47. You have a chance to get it back. It's a no-brainer kind of deal. And hey, would you look at this? Holy moly, the toast works. Just got another sale. I told you, people. I told you, it's unbelievable. There we go. The toast is magical, people. All right, let's keep going. ShineOn Treasury. We have a bunch of courses. You can get all of the courses for one fee of like $4.95 every 6 months or something like that. And I'm telling you, we could charge $1,000 for each of these courses. You get access to all of them for like $4.95 for 6 months. So pretty unreal deal there. ShineOnTreasury.com if you would like to take advantage of that. If you want any UGC creatives right now, like if you're scaling on TikTok or whatever, highly recommend checking out Gil Jimenez's group over at ShineOn Creatives. He creates UGCs as a service. He's really affordable. We vouch for his work. He's amazing. We're actually trying to work on a partnership with him in the background right now so we can offer this more at scale to our sellers. But ShineOn Creatives is his group. Go join that and check out his stuff if you need some UGC images. Next, if you're brand new and you have a product that you think can scale, so that means you've got some sales coming in and you think you can scale this product, we have a program called ShineOn Scaling with Mario. You can go check it out, ShineOnScalingWithMario.com. You can set up a call with Mario. Mario will jump on a call with you. He'll look at your product and he'll decide whether or not you're a good fit for his program. He has a done with you scaling program, right? So Mario will come right alongside you and kind of help you scale this product. This is anybody that's new, you probably want to take advantage of something like this. He'll help you scale the product. So you'll get two benefits. One, you'll get the expertise, the wisdom from somebody that's scaled 40, 50 products themselves in the past. Mario probably has more scaling experience than a lot of people in the world. So he'll be able to help you scale that product to new heights that you couldn't have done on your own. But number two, and this is the coolest part to me, you get to learn. You get to learn from an expert who's going to come in and help you scale your campaign. So then when you get your next big winner, you can scale it on your own. So if you're new, you think you have a winning product, you think you have one that can scale, go to ShineOnScalingWithMario.com to check this out, okay? All right, shots of espresso. We drop them every Thursday in the group. This is training we should charge for. Shots of espresso are what they're called. You can search the Facebook group for all of our past ones. Another trick is up at the very top of the Facebook group. You can click featured or announcement. It's got anything we've pinned to the top or we've made an announcement. in this page. It's like a curated news feed. So all the product releases, the coffee with Michael, shots of espresso, all that fun stuff is right there. So if you go on vacation for a week, which should never happen in Q4, but if for some reason that happened, you can go here and you can get caught up super quick. Okay, whoop. Are we ready? Is everybody still with me? I want some more pills in the chat. Pills in the chat if you're with me. Red and yellow pills in the chat if you're with me, because from this point forward, you're going to be presented a question, right? And the question is, are you going to continue down the path you have been, doing the same things over and over, wishing for something different, right? Staying at your 9 to 5 kind of slog, and knowing that you have opportunities, skills, to maybe do something else, to build something else with your life, but not taking action. Are you going to do that? Are you going to continue to be kind of normal, right? And showing up here a year from now, wishing you had taken action previously, right? Is that going to be you? Or is today going to be a demarcation point? Is today going to be the day that something splits off in the path and you go the other direction and you take action that you haven't before, right? You take extraordinary action so you can have an extraordinary life, right? Today, you're being presented that question. And you are the only one that can answer it. No one is going to come save you on this. Your life is your fault here. Right? You need to initiate your own self-rescue. And today, you have an opportunity to do that. Today is your opportunity. And it's during this coffee with Michael. It's not later today. It's not after lunch, right? It's not, let's sleep on it. Right now, you need to make some kind of commitment in your heart, right? You need to reach down into your guts and find some grit and determination and decide that today things are going to be different. From this point forward, things will be different, right? That is the opportunity you're being presented with. And only you can answer it. Not anybody else here in the chat. Only you. So wherever you are at, that is what you need to be thinking about. You feel me? Okay. Remember that. It's going to be a theme today. We are going to be talking about that today. Okay. Now, I talked about a Christmas boot camp, right? A Q4 boot camp. Behind these slides, right? So in the following slides, I've got some keys to building winning campaigns. These are secrets to building winning campaigns, right? And it's not, I'm telling you now, it's not TikTok Kung Fu. It's not Facebook ad Kung Fu. It's none of that stuff. You can go learn all that stuff. That's great. But you cannot build winning campaigns off Facebook ad Kung Fu alone, right? You cannot do it. I'm going to be teaching you. If you're new, your ears should be perking up. I'm going to be teaching you what winning campaigns are built on in the following slides, okay? All right. Got everybody's attention? Good. Take one more swig of coffee. Get that dopamine flowing. Get out your pens and your notepads or your text edits, wherever you keep notes. Let's be ready to learn, people. Let's go. All right. Christmas countdown. We are in the thick of it. Christmas is literally right around the corner. Fact, the average consumer spends $988 on holiday shopping. The average consumer spends $988 on holiday shopping. I actually read a Deloitte survey. Deloitte's a consulting company. They actually think the average consumer spends closer to $1,500 on holiday shopping. That is a boatload. That is so much money. It is ridiculous. Okay. All right. I want to look at some trends here for the rest of the year, and I'm going to tie it into Q4. So pay attention. These are Google Trends from January 1st to September 30th for the keyword gift. Okay. Gift. Gift is the keyword. So this is Google Trends. These are people looking for gifts from January 1st to September 30th. So I've left Q4 off. Okay. Notice these peaks. You have Valentine's Day right here, little peak. You have Mother's Day right here, little peak. Then you have Father's Day right here. And everything kind of returns to baseline after that, right? I'm going to add in Q4, and I want you to see what happens to the scale here of this chart, okay? So pay attention. Everybody with me? Here comes Q4. Boom. This is Christmas, right? Notice how everything gets rebaselined all around Christmas spending. This is holiday spending, Q4 holiday spending. This is, October 1, and this is basically Christmas right here, right? So look what happened to our Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, and Father's Day bumps, right? They all get smushed way down, almost to baseline. You almost don't even feel them, right? Because the spend that happens here in Q4 is so massive, right? So what you should be taking away from this is opportunity, right? Look at the opportunity we have right now in Q4. Look at the opportunity. It is unreal. Making sales during Q4 is like stealing candy from a baby, right? You have to work hard. You have to work hard. You have to test a lot, right? I'm not saying you can't do any of that. You cannot be lazy, but it's easy. It's like playing the game on easy mode right now in Q4. If you're brand new, this is the perfect time to take a ton of action, right? Perfect time to take a ton of action because the chances of you getting some sales, your first sales, go way up during this time period. We call this the eCom Superbowl around here, right? Anybody that's in eCom loves this time of year because it's something like 50, 55% of all your e-commerce sales come in Q4, particularly in the 6 weeks before Christmas. It's an unbelievable time, right? When I was growing up, I hated Christmas. I hated the all the freaking songs and Mariah Carey and all that stuff on the radio all the time. I hated that Christmas Story movie that played on TNT or whatever it was over and over and over again. It just, I honestly, I hated it. I hated it. But then I got into eCom and it saved this time of year for me. I am now trained like one of Pavlov's dogs to start salivating as soon as I hear the first Christmas song on the radio as we get into Q4, right? The first time I walk into a store and I see like Christmas trees on display, I feel this like warmth in my chest and I start to get a little excited and I'm like, yes, it's that time of year. The sales are here. The tidal wave, the tsunami of holiday spending is upon us, right? That is what Q4 represents to me. It's unbelievable, unparalleled opportunity. There's nothing like it. There's been nothing like it in the history of the world. I think that's a fact. And this Q4, I think I can say this Q4 is going to be a record-setting Q4, right? And the reason I know that is because every single Q4 is. Every single Q4 dwarfs the one before it, right? This is going to be a record set. It's going to be the biggest Q4 in the history of the world, right? And you are in the perfect place to take advantage of it. You're listening to Coffee with Michael. You have ShineOn, right? You have all the training. You have this unbelievable platform where you can basically take an idea that's in your head. You can put it onto a product that you've never seen before. You get to sell it, and you didn't have to risk on any of your own inventory to get the product. You get to sell it to customers you've never met. We ship it without you ever touching a package. And literally for pennies on the dollar, you get distribution channels that are as large as Costco, Target, or Walmart for pennies on the dollar. That is the opportunity you are sitting on top of right now. And you have this huge tidal wave of sales coming at you. All you have to do is take a little bit of action for the chance of your life being completely different. You guys feeling me on this? You feeling the opportunity here? Huh? I want you to type in the chat. I want you to type opportunity, all caps right now in the chat if you're feeling me. Opportunity. Yes, it's a tough word. You can figure it out. I believe in you. Opportunity in the chat right now, all caps. All caps if you're feeling me on this. If you're feeling me on this. Right now. It is the eCom Super Bowl, people. The eCom Super Bowl. Here we go. Here's some people whose lives are going to be different after today. Jeff Middleton, Facebook user. Facebook. If you are a Facebook user, your life is likely going to be a little bit different after today's Coffee with Michael. Tiffany, Phil, Mark, Arthur. Lots of Facebook users here. Let's go. All right. So total Q4 expected spending I want to make sure you guys get this. I want you to understand how big this opportunity is, right? Most of us are limited because we think too small. We think too small. You really, it's very difficult to understand what the internet has opened up to every single one of us, right? It is a paradigm shifting kind of thing, right? It's like you step into a new dimension when you start selling online. It's like a superpower, right? I sold $92,000 in a single day with a brand new product I launched a couple years ago, right? In a single day, it took me like 6 or 7 days to get to that kind of scale. Those are the kinds of things you would never expect in like a normal brick and mortar or something like that. The internet has opened up opportunity in unparalleled ways that have never existed before, right? You feeling me on that? $942 billion is expected to be spent during this Q4. $942 billion, right? That's what this number looks like. You've got 9 zeros here. 9 zeros here. $942 billion are going to be pouring out of people's wallets, purses, and credit cards into holiday spending, right? And some fraction of that is going to be eCom related. Some fraction of that is going to be people buying necklaces online. It doesn't have to be a big fraction. It can be a tiny fraction, and a ton of people will make a ton of money, right? So another way to say 942 billion is I really want you to understand how much money this is, okay? $942 billion is $942,000 million. It always trips me out when I say it that way. It's $942,000 million. It's a ridiculous amount of money. I promise you, there's not a single person watching this, myself included, that can even fathom how much money this is. Okay. I went Googling around for islands for sale, right? Because I was like, how can we try to start to break down this number? So I went Googling around. I found some islands for sale, right? I found this really nice island called Rongyai Island. I hope I'm saying that right. Rongyai Island out of Thailand, right? They want $160 million for this island. $160 million for this island, right? Well, let's put it this way. If we had $942 billion in our pocket, right, we could buy 5,888 of these islands. Isn't that crazy? We could buy 5,888 of these islands if we had this kind of money, right? So another way to think of it is there are going to be 5,888 islands worth of money pouring into holiday spending. It's crazy. It's crazy. All that is to say, though, that you are not in competition with the person to your left or your right, right? I get asked all the time, is the market saturated? When you have this much money pouring into the market, there's no way it can be saturated. There's no way. It's too much money. The market, I'm telling you, it is not saturated with this much money pouring into it. You are not in competition with the person to your left and to your right. Your real competition is people buying from Amazon versus one of your products on Facebook or TikTok, right? Or somebody going to Walmart, right? That's the real competition. You are definitely not in competition with the person to your left or your right selling other print-on-demand products, right? So 5,888 islands worth of money. I don't even know if that's the proper way to say that. But that is how much money is pouring into the holidays. You know what? For fun in the future, what I might do is I might explain how big the holiday spending is by how many islands it is. Yeah. Anyway, okay. I'm getting a little carried away here, but it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Okay, that's the takeaway. It's a ridiculous amount of money. Okay, this really is like it's, you know, that Hubble Space Telescope picture of all the galaxies, and it says it's like 100 billion galaxies in that picture. You know what I'm talking about. And like, you can't fathom it, right? Like, you look at it and your brain just cannot, it's not programmed to think that way, right? This is the Hubble Space Telescope image of holiday spending, right? That is what you're looking at right here. Okay, Jeff Middleton says it's the deep sky image. Yes, exactly. This is the deep sky image of holiday spending, right? Your brain cannot fathom how big this number is. Okay, hopefully I've made my point. Let's keep going. This is 2021's Christmas order volume. Okay, here's what I want you to pay attention to. This is where you are right now, assuming the trend is roughly the same as last year. And I can tell you it is, except sales are coming in about 50% year over year where they were last year, which is insane. It is insane. This is we were not anticipating Q4 was going to be this hot. It is coming in super hot. Okay. So with all this talk of inflation and maybe an upcoming recession, I'm telling you, it has not slowed sales down one iota. The sales are pouring in like crazy around here. So assuming the general kind of trend continues in 2022 as it did in 2021, and it does every year, it basically follows this trend. This is where we are at right here. We are like base camp 2 on this Mount Everest of orders, right? We are like base camp 2 of this Mount Everest of orders that are coming our way. All right. Every single day, orders are increasing. And notice this is hockey stickish, right? If it weren't for shipping cutoff, this is hockey stickish. It is not normal, linear, up and to the right kinds of growth, right? The doubling time here in sales is like a week. Every week, the sales are doubling. It's unreal, right? It's unreal. This is where we're at right here. It is November 18th. We are literally right here. Notice every single day, the sales are going to get better and better and better. They're going to increase in volume, right? They're probably going to triple before the end of the year, right? Sales. So if you haven't made a sale yet, do not fret. Do not fret. This is a whole lot of orders that you can be a part of, okay? Do not give up and take massive action based on what you learned today, right? This here is shipping cutoff. This is kind of what you're seeing, shipping cutoff. After cutoff, things start to drop precipitously, right? So this is shipping cutoff. It's usually about 6 or 7 days before the holiday. Stay tuned with our cutoff dates because we're doing everything we can to get you all extra days of selling. So hopefully more to be announced on that. But this is the trend. This is where we're at right here, right? So tons of opportunity ahead of us. I know multiple sellers, I am one of them included, who didn't find winners until literally like a week into December, and we still scaled tremendously, right? I think I'm like, hopefully I'm remembering this right. I remember one time I think I found a winner on December 5th, and by December 17th, I scaled it to like $750,000, something like that. It was aggressive scale, and it was adrenaline pumping. But my point is the opportunity is there, and I think I netted like a lot. I netted a lot of money from that. Okay, I think the margin on that was something like 25-30% profit in my pocket. So it was a lot of money. It was a good windfall for me. You can do that. There are people watching this right now. You are not going to find your winner until like December 3rd, and you're going to scale it to $1 million before shipping cutoff. There's somebody watching this right now. It could be you, right? That's probably going to do that. Let's see, 2 weeks ago, my Coffee with Michael, I had Andrew Vo on. He was one of those people. He caught his winner late in the game, scaled it really well, all in December. So there's plenty of time, plenty of orders for you to take advantage of right here. All right, so let's talk about how we do this. Do you want to learn how to do it? You want to be part of this order volume here? Huh? Do you guys want to catch some piece of this $942 billion that's about to fall out of the sky into the markets? Huh? Okay, I am going to show you how. I'm going to show you how. Everybody ready? Everybody ready? Pins, notepads out. Get some more coffee in the veins. All right, let's do it. First of all, you want to go for broad appeal niches, okay? Broad appeal niches. So most of my talk today is going to be about creating products, creating winning products, because you cannot build a winning campaign on a losing product. You cannot do it. You need winning products to build winning campaigns on top of. And if you hit a winning product, there's a good chance, even if you suck with ads, you can make tons of money. The analogy I like to use is that a lot of this is like fishing. Okay. A lot of this is like fishing, and there are different sizes of fish, right? And you can think of that like different kinds of winners, right? Different sizes of winners. So imagine you're out in the ocean, you're on a boat, right? And you put a cast out there and you catch a small fish. That's equal to like a product that gets 1 or 2 or 3 sales and you can't really do much with it. Right? That's a small fish. Maybe you throw another cast out and you get a product that goes beyond break even, right? So it's profitable, but you can't get it to really scale, right? I like to call those marlin. They're like bigger fish, right? But then you have whales. You have whales. These are my favorite, right? You have whales. Let me ask you something. If you're standing on the boat and you're in the middle of the ocean and you have line cast into the water and you catch a whale, will there be any mistaking that you caught a whale? Will there be any mistaking that you have a whale on the other end of your line, right? Absolutely not. There's no way you're going to mistake that for a tiny little fish or a tuna or something like that. You will know when you catch a whale because the whales take you for a ride, right? Whales take you for a ride. They are in the driver's seat and you are just hanging on. It's like riding a rocket, right? That is a whale. And that is what I want to teach you how to find today, okay? And to find whales, whales are swimming around in broad appeal niches, okay? You can make plenty of sales if you hone in on like biker moms, right? Or knitting grandmothers or something like that. You make tons of sales there. I'm not saying there aren't sales there, but I am saying whales do not often swim in those spaces, right? Whales are in the deep blue ocean. They're in these broad appeal niches because the audiences are bigger in these niches, right? So here are some really good niches to be focused on in Q4. You have daughter, right? Daughter's huge. Daughter's huge. You have bonus daughter. Bonus daughter is a great one. It's just like a spin on the daughter niche. Granddaughter is a good one. These two are really popping off right now in Q4. You have your romance niches. My favorite niche of all time is the wife niche. A big part of that is because I think men are like predispositioned to buy jewelry for their significant others, right? So like it's an easy buy. Another reason I really like it is men do not typically shop for jewelry. So when they see one of our jewelry items in their news feed, they're not going to sit there going, is that real white gold? Is it, what is the clarity on this cubic zirconia? They're not going to do any of that. They're not even going to have a grid for pricing, right? So they're not going to be like, oh, they want $50 for this, but I swear I saw this the other day in Charming Charlie's for $29.95 or whatever. They're not going to do that. Men don't have that, right? What men are going to do is they're going to read the message. They're going to read the message, and if it resonates with them, they're going to buy it, right? Because here's every thought process of every man around Christmas. If I buy this online, I don't have to go into a store and compete with the crowds and all of that, do I? Right? This is a thought process of every man when we get closer to Christmas, right? Every single person is going to be thinking of that. So you make it super easy. You have a compelling message on one of these message cards. You hit them at the right time around Christmas. If it's the right message at the right time, you're saving them a trip to the store. I promise you, they'll sell like hotcakes. But the real reason I like this niche beyond all that is you find a winner in Christmas in the romance niche and you can roll it right into Valentine's Day. You can roll it right into Valentine's Day. So you get 2 bites of the apple if you find a winner right now. So that's why that's my favorite niche, right? If you're new and you're trying to figure out what to go for, I would recommend try to go for a niche that you already know, right? I know the husband and wife niche because I'm married. I have been for 15 years. So go for a niche you already know. It makes it easy. It makes it easy, right? Okay, so daughter, this one's really blowing up right now. Granddaughter, blowing up right now. In the romance space, you have wife, girlfriend, future wife, and soulmate, right? All of these are huge. If you find a romance one that works for wife, you can literally spin it to girlfriend, future wife, and soulmate. Same with daughter. If you have something that's working for daughter, you can spin it to bonus daughter, and so on. Son and bonus son are 2 other really good ones. I really like son because it's kind of neglected. Not a lot of people are targeting it. So there's not as much competition. And if you hit a winning phrase, you can actually kind of corner the market almost to yourself. The Cuban links chains, which I'll show a little bit later, they sell really, really well. I mean, they're a winning product. They sell like crazy around Father's Day. They'll sell really well around Christmas as well. All right. So general rule of thumb, remember the analogy I just shared about whales. General rule of thumb, the more specific the niche, the higher the buyer intent, but the smaller the audience, right? So the more specific the niche, The higher the buyer intent, but the smaller the audience. So here's what I mean by this. If you go after biker moms, right? There aren't many biker mom products out there, right? So if you get into a niche like that, and you have the right message, the buyer intent goes up. Meaning, if somebody sees it in their feed, they're really going to be challenged to buy it, because like the chances of them finding another biker mom type product is not going to be, it's not often that they see that kind of thing, right? So you're really going to give them reason to pause and consider buying it. So the buying intent goes up, but the audience is smaller. The audience is smaller, right? So there's a trade-off here. And somewhere, if you were to draw this kind of on a chart, like imagine you have like a line chart, and you have buyer intent is one line kind of going up and to the right, and then you have the size of the audience going down from the top left to the bottom right of the chart. I've got this chart somewhere, actually. I'm surprised I didn't put it in here. You can kind of see what I'm talking about here. And there's some magic spot kind of around the middle where those two lines converge. That's kind of an ideal spot to pick. Look, I just want you to know this is how the market works. That's really the takeaway from this. Just know the more specific the niche, the higher the buying intent, but the smaller the audience, right? The higher the buying intent, but the smaller the audience, okay? It's like if you go after gaming girlfriends, for example, the buying intent might be really high on gaming girlfriends, because it's like it really helps you hit the niche, right? Strike a chord with the niche, but the audience gets smaller, right? That's what you need to keep in mind. I like broad appeal niches because this is where the whales swim. This is where the whales swim. That doesn't mean you can't make money here. Just know this. Know this as a general rule of thumb. All right, we're going to get into phrase research now. Phrase research. Now, this is the good stuff, okay? This is really how you build winning campaigns. It all starts with a winning product. A winning product. And does anybody know what makes up a winning product? Any ideas on what makes a winning product, right? Look at one of these. What makes one of these a winner? Any ideas? What makes a winning product? I'm going to give it to you, but I want you to write some guesses in the chat. What makes a winning product? Is it the design, right? Is it the jewelry piece, right? Is it this salutation in the fonts you pick? What is it? What is it? What makes a winning product? Drop your answers in the chat. I see a bunch of them coming in now. The phrase, simplicity, the message, words, the message, the phrase, the message, the greeting card design. I can see that you are avid fans of Coffee with Michael, and you are great students. It is the phrase. It is the phrase. A winning phrase is most of what makes up a winning product, okay? If you can, I'm telling you, if there's one skill, if there was a genie here and he gave me one skill to master, let's say, he was like, I'm a genie. You get to pick any skill and you'll be the master of it, right? If there was one skill I would pick, it would be this. It'd be how to identify winning products, how to create winning products, right? That is the skill. That is the skill. All the other stuff you can learn, they're just amplifiers, but you have to have a winning product if you want to stand a chance of going big in this game, okay? So let's talk about phrase research. Phrase research here. Here's how you do it. So first, I like to build a phrase bank, okay? So I do this typically inside of Trello, but you need to figure out where you're going to keep all these phrases that you're about to go find in phrase research, okay? It can be a Google Sheet, it can be a Google Doc maybe. I like to use Trello. The reason I like to use Trello is because you can put little snippets of the phrases in each of these cards and then kind of drag them around as you see fit. It makes it super easy, but you're going to want to build a phrase bank. A phrase bank is where all these phrases are going to go that you're going to find in your research, okay, that we're going to talk about. But your goal is to build a phrase bank. You want a nice, healthy phrase bank, okay? Now, where can you find phrases, all right? I would recommend, if you're new, do not make up your own phrases, okay? I promise you are not no offense to anybody, but you're not the poet or songwriter that you think you are. Don't make up phrases if you're brand new. It's probably going to fail, okay? What you want to do is you want to find phrases that have already worked in the past, that have already resonated with an audience in the past, okay? Start there. Start there. That's your foundation. Go find phrases that have already worked in the past. There's a ton of places you can get these. I'm going to talk about how in just a second, but here's where you can get some of these. Pinterest, Google Shopping, Hallmark, all their greeting cards have some good stuff. Amazon's a great place. Google Trends, Etsy, Google Images, eBay, Facebook, at spy tools like AdSpy, and even Shopify. Searching other Shopify stores. These are great places where you can find winning phrases. Okay. All right. Now, how do you know when it's a winner? That's going to be the next question, right? How do you know when it's a winner? And remember, guys, the goal is to build your phrase bank. Don't lose sight of this. This is why we're doing everything else. Okay. So how do you know when it's a winner? Well, let's talk about this. On Etsy, let's say you're here and you type in a search phrase, right? Like to my mother-in-law, or to my mother-in-law gift, or daughter necklace, right? Try some different search phrases like that. And what you're looking for is any product down here that's got a little bestseller tag, right? Any product that's got a little bestseller tag here, that will usually tell you that you're onto something. Like the phrase in that particular product is onto something. So bestseller. You can go look here. Now, I wanted to give Chris Blair a shout out. Usually most people, they start on page 1 when they do this process. So they'll go to Etsy, type in something, they'll start on page 1 of the search results, and they'll start moving through the search results. Do not do that. You want to start on page 5, right? Page 3, page 4, or start on page 1, but go deeper than everybody else, right? Most people are going to quit on page 2, maybe even page 1. Most people are going to quit on page 2. If you want to go further in your competition, make it to page 3, make it to page 4, make it to page 5, go to page 10, right? You can find some really, really great golden nuggets in there that nobody else is focused on if you're willing to go further than anybody else, right? But here's one way to spot a winner. Once you get inside the product listing in Etsy, you can actually see how many reviews that product has and whether or not the reviews are recent. That's another signal that you might be onto something good. But you have to spend time doing this research, okay? You have to spend time doing this research. So here's another one. Go to Amazon, right? And in Amazon, type one of your keywords. So to my daughter gift, to my daughter blanket, to my daughter necklace, something like that, to my daughter poster, all those things. And what you're going to look for are products that have more reviews than others, right? Because that's going to tell you that phrase probably is resonating with the audience, okay? So if you'll notice here in the screenshot, we have this sorted by average customer review, and you have these two right here. They're both sponsored, but that might be okay. These two right here with phrases, right? These two right here are clearly resonating with an audience, right? So you can go check these out and see what those have to say. All of this should make its way back to your phrase bank, We'll talk more about that. So hang tight. Here's another method, right? And don't limit yourself to these. Get creative. Do some things I don't teach here. That's how you're going to go further than others, right? So here's another one. Go to Google Images and you can type something like I love my wife phrases, or daughter gift phrases, or I love my daughter phrases, or something like that. And you're going to get a bunch of images down here. And what you're looking for are phrases that repeat, right? That tells you, when you see them repeating, that tells you that you're on to a winner, right? So come here, look for phrases that repeat. That tells you that it's resonating with an audience and you're on to a winner. Like these two kind of repeat, right? This one here, this is a fragment of a phrase that repeats in lots of other places, right? So you're going to want to look for phrases that repeat. Those should go in your phrase bank, okay? As you find this stuff, start filling up your phrase bank. And what you should do is try to break the phrase up into fragments, right? So if you kind of read a phrase, you can get a feel for the phrase, and sometimes phrases have tempos, and what you can do is you can kind of break those up into fragments. And then what happens is you can start to mix and match phrases later. We're going to talk about that, okay? This is how you find winning phrases. Another really good one. Go to Google and search for open letters. So this is one Anna Beck came up with that I think is absolutely genius. But if you go to Google and you type open letter to my mom, to my husband, to my daughter, or whatever it is, you can find some real gold in these open letters, right? Real gold in the open letters. And you want to take the gold out of those letters and put it back in your phrase bank. Is everybody catching me here? Everybody feeling me here on how to do the research? Everybody feel me. If you're with me, I want you to type research in the chat. Research, all caps, in the chat if you're with me. If you're with me, right? So don't write your own phrase like originally from your head. Don't be a poet right now. It's not the time for it. What you want to do, go do phrase research. Try to find some things that are already resonating with your audience. That's the goal. And there's a bunch of ways to do this, a bunch of ways to do it beyond just what I've shown you here. Okay, there's a bunch of ways to do this. And then all of this, the goal is to get all of it back to your phrase bank, right? Because you're going to use your phrase bank to write winning phrases, which is our next step. Our next step. All right, so we got research, 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 research. Way to be. You are with me. You're taking notes. Lots of people. Lives will be changed after this. I can feel it. You're action takers here in this group. Way to be. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. So now you have a phrase bank and you should have a bunch of phrases in it, right? A bunch of phrase fodder, as I like to call it. A bunch of phrases. And you haven't broken them up into fragments, right? So now we're going to talk about how do you write a winning phrase? How do you write a winning phrase? Well, a few things to know, a few basics, okay? First of all, the basic structure you need to get down, okay? Almost every winning product I've ever seen on a necklace, and I'm talking like 98% of all of them, right? All of these message cards follow the same structure. So one, they follow the greeting card format. So they have a greeting like to my wife, to my daughter, to my bonus daughter, to my son, something like that. They have a phrase, and then they have a salutation, right? So greeting, phrase, salutation, all of them follow the exact same structure, like 98% of them, okay? The phrase must move people emotionally. We're going to talk more about that in a second, but the phrase must move people emotionally. This is the magic, people. If you can move people emotionally, they will buy your stuff. That's all it comes down to. If you can move somebody emotionally with the phrase, they will buy your stuff. They will buy your stuff. This is the biggest takeaway probably from this entire Coffee with Michael. If you can move people emotionally, they will buy your stuff. Okay? Write that down. If I can move people emotionally, they will buy my stuff. If I can move people emotionally, they will buy my stuff. Okay? Write that down. You need to have that in your notes somewhere. Cut it out. Put it in your mirror. Put it on your monitor. Put it somewhere where you're going to see it repeatedly. That is a truth, right? If I can move somebody emotionally, they will buy my stuff, okay? Very important takeaway here. I like to say, if they cry, they'll buy. That's just a heuristic to remind myself of how this works. If they cry, they'll buy. Another thing we like to say around here is, it's the phrase that pays. It's the phrase that pays. Another thing we like to say around here is, if they feel it's real. If they feel it's real, right? These are just these little heuristics we've come up with in the community to remind ourselves of what actually sells these products. If they cry, they'll buy. It's the phrase that pays. If they feel it's real. If I can move somebody emotionally, they will buy my stuff. They will buy my stuff. You guys with me? And you can give them any emotion. You can make them feel any emotional experience, right? When I say if they cry, they'll buy, I don't literally mean you have to make somebody cry. I'm just trying to remind myself, like, I need them to feel something if I want them to buy my product. They can feel sadness, right? So we have memorial products that do really, really well. Memorial products, if somebody wants to remember a loved one, I see it every year. There are products where it's like a dog tag, and it'll be buyer upload, where the buyer gets to upload an image of their loved one. And then on the back, they'll maybe put their birth and their death dates on the back, right? It's like a little token to memorialize or remind them of their loved one, right? So that could be sadness. It could be grief, right? So when they see your product in their newsfeed, they think of the person they love, and they're like, oh, I could put my grandma's picture on this or whatever, and they feel a little tinge of sadness, but it's a happy tinge, right? That's what they could be feeling, right? They don't have to be happy necessarily. You can make them cry. It's okay. They could be happy crying, right? Either because of whoops, not sure how I did that. Let me get that off of there. Okay. You can make them happy cry, right? Laughter. A couple years ago, and even right now, there's a product going around that's a little bit vulgar and obscene, and people laugh when they see it in their news feed and they buy it, right? Laughter can be an emotion. It can be an emotion, right? Anger is another really good one. You see anger at play a lot of times in the political stuff, like the political t-shirts and the hats and all that kind of stuff. But anger is another one. You can make them feel anything, any emotion is on the table. Any emotion is fair game. But if you don't make them feel something, they probably aren't going to buy what you're selling. Okay. Love is another great one. This one, the romance niches, hello, they're amazing with love. Same with the daughter niches, right? So there's different kinds of love. There's like parental, endearing type love, and then there's romance. Either one of those will work, right? Is everybody with me here? If they cry, they'll buy. If they feel, it's real, right? It's the phrase that pays, right? If you can make people feel something, they'll buy your stuff, okay? I want you to write, if they cry, they'll buy in the chat right now. If they cry, they'll buy in the chat right now if you're with me. If they cry, they'll buy. Write it out. I want to make sure you're getting this. It's very important. You cannot, listen to me, you cannot create a winning campaign on a losing product. You cannot do it. I'm giving you the keys, the elements to creating winning products, right? This is everything. This is 90% of every winning campaign is just about finding a winning product. If they cry, they'll buy. Let me see it in the chat right now. If they cry, they'll buy. There we go. Leslie, thank you. Candace, thank you. Facebook users, thank you. Dan, appreciate it. Tomas, if they cry, I make money. That's okay too. I like that. I like the spin. John, if they cry, they'll buy. Jeff, Facebook user. Arthur, thank you. I can see you're paying attention. Your lives will be different. This is good stuff. You got it. My name is Yvonne. If they cry, they'll buy. Way to be. Montez, if they cry, they'll make you rich. Yes. All right. You're with me. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Let's keep going here. So you've got your phrase bank. Okay. You've got your phrase bank. You've built this thing, right? By doing all this research here, and you've paid very special attention to the phrases you've picked up, because you know that in order to create a winning product, you have to make people feel something, right? You have to move them emotionally to create a winning product, right? You know that now. So how do we write winning products? How do we take what's in our phrase bank and create winning phrases, right? Well, I like to do this little thing I call Franken phrases, right? Now, it doesn't mean I invented the method necessarily. I just gave it the cool name. Franken phrases, TM, easy for you to remember. This is what I like to do. I like to do Franken phrases, right? I like to Franken phrase my all the stuff I have in my phrase bank to create new, unique phrases that nobody has seen before. All right. So here are 5 phrases up on the screen here, and you can see through this kind of image how we've taken pieces of one phrase and we've kind of mixed and matched these. We Franken phrase something entirely new, right? So let's just bear with me. I'm going to read a couple of these, and I'm going to show you this spin, the new phrase that we made, so you can get a real feel for how this works. All right. So the first one: whenever you feel overwhelmed, remember whose daughter you are and straighten your crown. Be brave, have courage, and love life. I'm always with you. You will always be my baby girl. There's phrase 1. Phrase 2: I love you for the girl you were, the special woman you are, and the wonderful daughter you will always be. And then the fragment of phrase 3 here: when it's too hard to look back and you're too afraid to look ahead, look right beside you. I will always be there. Just remember that I love you more than you'll ever know. After all, you were the first person to know what my heart sounded like on the inside. Okay, so now we've taken what we think are the best pieces of each, and we're going to put them together into a new unique phrase we've never seen before. So here it is. You tell me what you think. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, remember whose daughter you are and straighten your crown. I love you for the girl you were, the special woman you are today, and the wonderful daughter you will always be. After all, you were the first person to know what my heart sounded like on the inside. On the inside. So look what we just did here. We had phrases from our phrase bank, and we franken-phrased something entirely new together that's never been seen in the marketplace before. But we did it with elements of phrases that we know already resonate with our audience, right? So we are like several legs up here compared to the person that's just, being the weekend poet, right? And writing their own stuff. You with me? Do you see the magic here? I want you to write franken-phrase in the chat right now. Franken-phrase in the chat right now if this is making sense. If this is making sense. This is really important if you're new. If you're new to this game, you have to get this. You have to get this. I'm going to save you months. I'm going to save you thousands of dollars in ad spend right now if you can just get this, right? So your goal is to create a phrase bank. You do a bunch of phrase research. You put the fragments in the bank. Then you do franken-phrasing on those phrases to create something entirely new, right? That already resonates with an audience, right? All right. Mimi and Olive, Leslie, Jeff, way to be Facebook user. Tomas, way to go, everybody. Okay, this is making sense. Good. Thank you for the feedback. All right, let's keep going. Franken-phrases. This is your key, right? This is your key. Let's keep going. So method number 2, right? Method number 2. So method 1 is franken-phrasing. You can grab elements of things that are already winners, put them together, create something entirely new, right? Method number 2 is to take a phrase that's already a winner, and you can rewrite the phrase multiple times until it's something that is completely unique, yet maintains the essence of the original phrase, right? So it's unique because you've rewritten it over, and it's like the telephone game. It's gone through the telephone game. You've rewritten it multiple times, but at the end, the phrase still maintains the essence of the original phrase, right? So I'm kind of seeing an example of that, or what I was trying to illustrate right here. You have your original phrase, right? Your original phrase. And then you do a rewrite, and maybe the phrase gets shorter. And by the way, don't just do 2 rewrites like I've got here in the illustration. I'm talking about like do 5, 10 of these, right? You really kind of want to get away from the original phrase, but the goal is you have to maintain the essence of the original phrase. So here's your original, rewrite 1, rewrite 2, and so on and so forth. And eventually you have like a unique kind of phrase at the end. Now, this is more advanced, right? This is more advanced. I would definitely recommend you spend time here doing franken-phrases before you do this. And the reason is every phrase that tends to win, they've got like a tempo or a rhythm to them. Sometimes they rhyme. Sometimes there's kind of a hook and a punchline in the phrase that makes it work. And you have to get trained up. You have to get your brain kind of tuned in to what's happening in the phrase and why it's working. You really have to understand what's going on there with the phrase itself in order to rewrite it successfully and maintain the essence, right? That's why this one's a little bit more advanced. However, you can come up with some really cool stuff doing this, okay? Some really cool stuff doing this. So franken-phrases is where I recommend everybody start. Method number 2 is to rewrite the phrase multiple times. This is more advanced, okay? More advanced. Here's another option. You can go to Upwork, and you can actually hire a writer to do this for you. So there's a few different ways. You can give writers, some winning phrases and ask them to rewrite those. So you can basically have writers go through this process for you. You can also tell writers, hey, I want something that's sappy for a daughter that makes people feel. It needs to be 3 or 4 lines long. Here's some examples of what I'm talking about, and give them some phrases to kind of use as reference and inspiration. And you can actually pay writers to try to come up with some things for you. I can tell you though, this is for advanced people. Don't jump to this. You have to understand what a winning phrase is before you can do any of this other stuff successfully. But this is an option. You can hire writers on Upwork. And if they come up with something that works really well, you can smash. You can smash on it. So you can hire writers on Upwork, right? So a couple tips: test multiple writers with an actual phrase, right? So as part of the interview process, give them a phrase, have them do the rewrite to make sure they're pretty good at it. I like Upwork because you're not bound by contract. So if they don't perform, you can just kind of cancel it. And look, the quality here is going to be medium to high, but you're going to have to really dig for high quality writers here on Upwork. But this is an option. It is an option. There's another option that I completely forgot about, but that is gold, is Quillbot. Quillbot. So somebody dropped this in the Facebook group several weeks ago, that they use Quillbot to rewrite winning phrases, and it actually helped them find the winner they're scaling right now, right? Pretty incredible. Quillbot, I believe it's free. You can go to quillbot.com if you want to use it. It's one of those AI text generator type things. You can drop a winning phrase into Quillbot, hit the button, it'll spit out a new phrase. So pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. So Quillbot. So method 1, Franken phrases. Method 2, you do the rewrites. Method 3, you find a writer on Upwork. Okay. Method 4 is Quillbot. Okay. Method 4 is Quillbot. All right. So the phrase, you should basically know this by now, but I'm going to reiterate, the phrase is 90% of a winning product. Remember, 90% of a winning campaign is a winning product, and 90% of a winning product is a phrase, right? So the phrase is what you want to be focused on. If you're new, you need to make sure you're listening to this. The phrase is what you want to be focused on, okay? Finding a winning phrase is literally everything in this game. It's literally everything in this game. It's finding a winning phrase, and the winning phrase is 90% of a winning product, okay? Is 90% of a winning product. If you're with me, if you are still listening, let me know. I want to see 90% in the chat below. 90% in the chat if you're with me and you're listening and you're picking this up. 90%. If this is good stuff, give me some feedback in the chat right now. 90% in the chat right now. The phrase is 90% of a winning product. Of a winning product. I want to see 90% in the chat. 90% in the chat. Mimi and Olive, thank you, Jeff. Jeff's life's going to be different here. He's been participating the entire time. Facebook user, thank you. Ning, I'll accept that. Facebook user, 90%. Dan, Candace, is that Candace? Yep, Candace. John, thank you, 90%. We've got Can in here, 90%. Way to be. Thank you for paying attention. Candace, Leslie, Arthur. All right, good. Sophie, Janet. All right, way to go. I'm glad you're with me. I'm glad this is helpful. Glad that this is everything, guys. I'm telling you, I wish it would have been this easy when I started. Okay, I'm serious. I had to figure this stuff out. I had to realize what made a winning product. It took me time to understand why people bought, right? I had to reverse engineer success because it wasn't trained. It wasn't packaged up like this. This is everything. This literally took thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in ad spend to learn. This is everything. The phrase is 90% of a winning product right here. Right here. If there's nothing else you take away from this session, take this away. The phrase is 90% of a winning product, right? This is everything. All right, we're going to talk about design because you have to know kind of how to do some design stuff here too. But I'm telling you, this is everything. This is the jet fuel, right? These are the engines that make the airplane take off, right? Without this stuff, you cannot get a winning product, okay? Right? Without this stuff, you do not get a winning product. All right. Okay, let's go. Design. Let's talk a little bit about design. So there's a few different ways you can do designs. There's a lot of different softwares out there. Depending on your budget and skill set, you'll probably want to pick a different one. You have Photoshop, Photopea, Canva, WordSwag, and PicMonkey. Canva is like so advanced now. It's kind of a no-brainer option here. A lot of people only use Canva. Totally up to you and your preference. If you're new and you're not familiar with any of this, Canva makes it really easy. I like Photoshop, but I've been using Photoshop, no joke, since I was like 14. So I've got like 25 years of experience here with Photoshop. I know all the hotkeys and the shortcuts and all that stuff. I just like Photoshop. But if you're new, Photoshop is probably way overkill and it's too much for you, right? Canva is a great place to start. Another thing I kind of like to mess with occasionally is WordSwag. WordSwag is an app you can download for your iPhone. You can put a phrase in there and it automatically kind of like moves all the words around and things like that. I kind of like WordSwag, but Canva is a great one. Most people swear by, and then, Photoshop is probably my preference. All right, so let's talk about design. This is all really secondary to everything else anyway. Let's talk about design. So first of all, when it comes to the actual design, there's a few things you want to keep in mind. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Do not go crazy with the design. Remember, the phrase is everything. The phrase is 90% of a winning product, right? The phrase is 90% of a winning product. So if the first thing somebody sees when your ad pops up on their screen is the design, you have failed, right? You have failed. You don't want them distracted and looking at the design. You want them looking at the phrase, right? That is the goal. So you need to keep it simple. You want to make sure the design complements the phrase, right? That's exactly what I'm talking about. It needs to complement the phrase. Keep it simple, complement the phrase. Do not distract from the phrase. If you distract from the phrase, you fail, okay? You want the design such that the phrase is not covered up or blocked by the jewelry item in the mock-up. So when you're kind of organizing the text on the message card, you want to make sure you're not the text is not being blocked by the jewelry item, right? You want to make sure the jewelry item is kind of centered up and the text is all around it. You don't want the design to use elements that may turn some buyers away. So, for example, images of people with identifiable traits such as hair color, length, height, that kind of thing. So sometimes I'll see romance message cards, and on the message card will be like a young guy and gal on like a bench overlooking an ocean. It's kind of a romantic scene, but there's a few things wrong with it. The guy and the gal both have like brown and blonde hair. They're both Caucasian or white, and they're wearing leather jackets, right? And they're young, right? And all those things suddenly are going to turn off anybody that does not fit that description, right? So anybody that's maybe 40, 50 years old, that already has kids, that maybe they're not thin, right? And they've gained some weight. Maybe they're not white and Caucasian, right? All those things now turn all those buyers away, right? So you want to avoid putting elements on the design that are going to do that. Don't put elements with identifiable character traits. It doesn't make sense. It will turn buyers away, okay? Also, use darker or lighter backgrounds for contrast and avoid shades in the middle of the value spectrum. So what you see over here on the right, is a value spectrum, right? So we go from, like if you just look here, you go from white to black or from light to dark on these colors, right? So it's a value spectrum. What you're wanting to do is avoid shades in the middle for the most part. Like if you're going to pick a background color for the message card, you want something that's either on the ends, right? So you either want like really light background colors, and then you can use dark text, or dark background colors and you can use light text, because you need adequate contrast between the text and the colors in order for people to see it and for it to not be a strain on the eyes. I will tell you now, I've seen a gajillion winning products, and most of them end up having white backgrounds. Not all of them, but most of them, right? If they're not a white background, typically it's like a navy blue, a dark purple, or something like that. It's kind of like one of these colors down here. I very rarely see winning products that are in other colors. I don't see dark greens, typically dark oranges. You don't see a lot of that. You see navy blues, purples, blacks. You see some dark grays, right? That's about it. Okay. You keep it simple. Keep it simple. You don't have to get crazy with the design. Again, it's not the design that sells. What is it? What is it? It's the phrase. It's the phrase that pays, baby. It's the phrase that sells. They cry, they'll buy, right? That's where you want the emphasis when you're doing design work. Okay. Don't get caught up in going crazy with the design stuff, because you can lose a lot of time there. It's the phrase. The phrase is everything. All right. So we have a bunch of pre-built message cards free for you in Canto, right? You can get to it by going to graphics.shineon.com, graphics.shineon.com. There's a gajillion message cards out there. I would recommend kind of using these as a starting point rather than using these and going straight to the sale, right? You can use these as kind of a starting point. Use them for inspiration on how to like lay out the text and things like that. Graphics.shineon.com if you'd like to take a look at those. Graphics.shineon.com if you'd like to take a look at those. All right, is everybody tracking with me on design so far? On design? What I want you to write in the chat if you're with me is keep it simple. All caps, keep it simple in the chat if you're tracking with me on the design stuff. Keep it simple in the chat if you're with me. Keep it simple in the chat. You can go to Upwork for the design. I recommend you test multiple designers for the job. Again, you got to dig for gold here. It's not bound by contract, so it's a really easy place to go. You probably want to pay between $10 and $25 per design job and test them first, right? So what I would do is part of the interview process, I'd ask them to make some designs for you so you can see who has talent. It's okay to do that as part of the interview process, okay? But you can go to Upwork if you just do not have any design skills, but you really don't need many. I mean, white background with Canva will get you a really long way. All right, keep it simple. Keep it simple. We have Adam, Arthur, Dan. Yes, thank you. Jeff, Janet, way to be, Can. Facebook user, lots of Facebook user. Mimi and Olive, Candace. My name is Yvonne, way to be, Kita. Good to see you, Kita. Yes, keep it simple. Keep it simple. All right. Now we're going to talk about products. Has this been helpful so far, everybody? Has this been helpful? If you're new, I hope you're following along here, and I hope that I'm making sense and that you're really picking up some valuable tips here. Because I'm telling you, I would have paid a lot of money to learn all these tips when I was starting out. Because I had to reverse engineer a lot of this stuff. Not all of it, but a lot of it, because there just was not as much coaching, training, and that kind of stuff available. So I'm getting some yes, very, it's making sense, very helpful, yes, yes. All right, good. Okay, let's talk about some products that you can sell this Q4, okay? Let's not overcomplicate things. Products you can sell this Q4. Love Knot. This is a top seller. Love Knot. Everybody loves a Love Knot. Everybody loves this one. It's really good for the romance niches. It can work for like daughter and granddaughter as well. This is a really, really good one. It just looks nice. It just looks like a really nice, high-class piece of jewelry. So Love Knot. Love Knot is a bestseller. You want to check out Love Knot. All right, Forever Love. This is another really good one, mostly for the romance niches. I don't really recommend this product for the daughter, the granddaughter niches. It gets weird. I mean, just imagine a dad giving his 17-year-old daughter this Forever Love piece. It's just weird, right? Because the heart very often, at least this heart, it makes you think of romance, right? So it's just weird. So I highly recommend this one for the romance niches. It's really good. It's kind of bedazzling, right? You got this large cubic zirconia with this kind of line of cubic zirconia on the side. So it's got high perceived value here. This is a really good one. Forever Love. Forever Love. I've sold a gajillion of these Forever Loves, by the way. They sell really well. So Love Knot, Forever Love, these are both really good. Next, Interlocking Hearts. This one is amazing for the daughter niche, for the granddaughter niche. This one here is awesome. Bonus daughter. Interlocking Hearts is awesome. It doesn't really have that kind of romantic kind of feel to it. It feels more like an endearing kind of love. What's appropriate between a parent and a child. So Interlocking Hearts is a really good one. Alluring Beauty. This is another really good one. You've got this large cubic zirconia with kind of the embedded smaller cubic zirconias on the side. So you have this, it's bedazzled. It's got this high perceived value here. It's really good for a number of different niches. We see it work well in the romance niches, but it can also work in like the daughter, mom niches, all that kind of stuff. So it's a really good, versatile product. And then you also have the dog tag. This one's constantly a bestseller almost all year round. You can put a phrase right on the dog tag, which is pretty cool. Just like this one, Dear Son, remember difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. I've seen this work for male and female buyers. It probably works for males a little bit more than females, like, so to my son, to my husband, to my dad type gifts, but it can work really, really well. So the graphic dog tag is a really nice one. So again, you got Love Knot, Forever Love, Interlocking Hearts, Alluring Beauty, and then the dog tag here. And then finally, you've got a bunch of male-centric products I don't want you to forget about. You have the watch, right? So you have the watch that you can either engrave on the back or you can add like a message card to right here. You also have the men's open work watch. These can sell really, really well to male niches. Do not overlook male niches right now in Q4. Do not overlook that. A lot of people forget that when you become a ShineOn seller and you see all the jewelry, it's very easy to kind of just get stuck in this place where you're constantly making phrases in kind of that female space where it's like grandmother to granddaughter, dad to daughter, husband to wife, where the recipient is always a female. But don't forget all the male-centric products we have. If you can find a winning phrase that works really well for a male recipient, there's a good chance you kind of have the market to yourself, because not many people are playing in it. Not many people are playing in it. So again, you have the watch with the engraving on the back. You have the Cuban link chain. This thing sells really, really well. It sold amazing during Father's Day. Definitely do not sleep on this product here. You can sell a ton of these. And then you have the watches with the message card, right? So all of these are really great products if you find a male-centric phrase that kind of works really well. A dog tag also. So do not forget about those. They can sell super well. Super well. All right. We're going to do some Q&A for a little bit. Q&A in a little bit. I hope you found this helpful, okay? When I was new, I would have killed for some of these tips. Knowing that the phrase is 90% of a winning product, and in order to create a winning phrase, you need to move people emotionally. I'm telling you, those two things alone will put you so far ahead of everybody else just starting out. Those are just, it's gold. Everything revolves around those two things. If you don't get those two things right, you almost can't do anything else in the POD space, right? You almost can't do anything else in the POD space. So give me some questions in the comments. Give me some questions, and I will try to give you some answers in the comments. We're going to go for, I don't know, we'll maybe go 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I'll answer 3 or 4 or 5, something like that. Give me some questions in the comments. Questions in the comments. I'm going to top off my coffee here real quick. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope that I was able to kind of explain the concepts so that you understood them, right? I want you to succeed here. All right. I see some questions coming in here. Give me a second. There we go. All right, question about pricing. Well, you kind of have to experiment here. I typically recommend go with our minimum suggested selling prices inside of the app until you have a winner. So just go with the minimum suggested until you have a winner. Once you have a winning product, you can really start to experiment. And what I would do by experimenting is I would raise the price. I probably wouldn't lower the price. I'd probably try to take the price up. I've seen prices all over the place before. When I was scaling Forever Love here, I think I bumped this one up to $59.95 for white gold and $69.95 for yellow gold. However, I have seen our own internal media buying team bump this one all the way up to or maybe it was Alluring Beauty, bump it all the way up to like $79 for white gold, $89 for yellow gold. So I've seen the prices go up pretty high. And when they were doing that, they also had some post-purchase products on the back end, and they were getting like triple-digit AOVs for sure. It was really cool, actually. So yeah, I would recommend start with minimum suggested selling prices till you hit a winner, and then you can increase. All right. Thoughts on interest targeting. I struggle with that. I've sold at least one product in the wife niche to my husband niche, soulmate niche, and daughter niche, but not in volume. I always keep my interest super broad. I'm looking for I'm looking for whales. If you want to find whales, you got to swim in the deep blue ocean here. So I really don't get crazy with interest niches. However, a few different things you can do. You can always try broad, right? Try completely broad where you do very little interest targeting at all. You can do big interest. So like you can choose married, for example, as a relationship status. That one could be huge. And then Reggie and Tanya dropped some tips probably 3 weeks ago where they talked about how some of the times the interests they'll go after are, what did they say? I think they said Subway. They would go after like Subway, the fast food restaurant, when they were selling. They got a lot of sales through that. So what they're really tapping into, I've done this before as well, is you got to think of who your buyer is and like kind of what demographic and what income level they might be at. And then you start to extrapolate from there. You go, okay, so if I have somebody that's, maybe middle-aged, making an average income in the United States, like what are some common stores they might shop at? And then, ideas will come to mind. So Walmart, Big Lots, maybe they eat fast food. So you're looking at Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, Subway, things like that. So that's kind of how you get there on that. And you start thinking through who your demographic is and then what they might be interested in. That's one way to do it. Another idea is as you run ads, go look at who is liking and commenting on your ads. Go into their Facebook profile and see if you can, just by looking at their profile, kind of figure out who your buyer is that way. And then, kind of reverse engineer some interest targeting based on that. So hopefully you found that helpful. All right. Best price point, again, minimum suggested selling price. I already answered that one, so I'm gonna move on. Stay in one niche or try multiple. I would try to stay in one niche. As long as you know it's a niche that works, right? So daughter obviously is selling, husband to wife sells, granddaughter to daughter, things like that. If you're in one of those niches, I would try to stay in one niche, assuming you're comfortable with the niche and you've gotten to know your audience a little bit. The reason is you just don't want to be too distracted. You don't want to spread yourself thin here. And it takes time to learn what resonates with your audience. And the way you learn that is through all that phrase research. So like if you're constantly spending time doing phrase research for the daughter niche, it's not going to take you very long before you really start to get a feel for what appeals to that particular buying audience, right? But if you're a little bit of daughter niche, a little bit of girlfriend niche, a little bit of son niche, whatever, you're never going to get to really learn the niche. So I like to put my blinders on and try to master the niche you're going after, right? So that's kind of what I would recommend, is just pick one niche. The only time I'd probably advise against this is if you've gone really deep and your niche is like, biker moms that love to knit or something like that, where they're like, you're super deep in your niche and your buying audience is so freaking tiny anyway, it does not make sense to even find a winner. That's the only time I would say, like, maybe try a few different niches. All right. What else? How many days should we test a product and kill ads? Look, there's a few different kind of schools of thought on this. I typically like to test Tuesday through Thursday, and I'll spend, $25, $30 a day. Again, there's several different schools of thought on how to do testing. So by no means should you just only use mine. Kirsta's got some of his own methods. I think he spends, he'll test 7 days a week, but he'll spend like $30 a day and he'll spend up to $90 before he determines how a product does. I know some people spend up to $150 before they interpret the results of the products. Then you have like Chris Blair, for example, has some really low budget testing methods where he'll test for like $5. And then he looks at like click-through rate and things like that to determine if he should move from a link click campaign to a purchase conversion campaign. So I know there's a lot of answers. If you're really just looking for a place to start your test on Tuesday, let them run through Thursday, spend about $25, $30 a day. It's kind of how I like to do it. So total, you spend like $90 to $100. All right. Lots of questions about price here. Again, use the minimum suggested selling prices inside the app. That's really the best place to do. Will I post this as a recording? It is actually recorded right now. And as soon as we're done with the live, you'll be able to go to this post in the Facebook group and you'll be able to watch this forever. So yeah, it's in there. The replay's there. You can go back, pause, take notes, whatever you want to do. It is all there. Etsy or Shopify. Look, it depends a little bit on you and your situation. I'm a bit of an action junkie. I like direct response advertising, and I like that marketplace. I also like the ability to scale really high. Therefore, I really like a Shopify store, and I like to be able to run ads on Facebook and TikTok, things like that. However, if you're like a weekend warrior or you super busy life or maybe the ad component just is not for you, then Etsy might be a better option, right? Maybe you just only go into Etsy. If you do have a Shopify store, I kind of recommend having an Etsy store anyway. And every product you test, just throw it into Etsy. I mean, there's almost nothing to lose by having your products up in Etsy. You can gain some organic sales that way. So it's kind of no-brainer type of deal. So hopefully that helps answer that question. What's the name of that phrase organizer? I was using Trello. What you saw in the screenshot back here is Trello. Right there. That's Trello. It's a free tool you can download online. Actually, it's web-based. You don't even have to download it. It's called Trello. I really like it. You can also use Google Sheets. I've seen people do this in spreadsheets before a lot. Google Docs is another place you can do it as well. All right. Another sip of my coffee. There we go. Q&A. Okay. Let's see. It's helpful. Thank you so much. You got it. No question. Just want to thank you for the time. Yep. No problem. Can you use the video in Canto? Yeah, you can use it. If you find something in Canto, you can use it. We put it out there for sellers. Did you find one of the ShineOn pages converts better than the other? This is a great question. So the ShineOn Fast and Simple page so far converts the best out of all of our testing. It increased compared to the product page that was out right before it. The add to carts went up by like 40-some% and the conversions went up by 20-some% on the Fast and Simple page. The Fast and Simple page. So we like Fast and Simple quite a bit. Fast and Simple is where it's at. All right. Let's see. What is the best way to approach a niche that more tied to a person's love of an animal rather than a specific relationship to a giver? What is the best way? Okay, I think I see what you're saying. You're saying that the person is really buying the gift. No, I guess I don't see what you're saying. Like the person is buying the gift for themselves, but it's in the pet niche is where I think maybe you're at. I'm trying to think of what product you would even use for something like that right now. Maybe like one of the buyer upload graphic items, like the circle pendant, for example. You could upload an image of like a dog. It could be like a memorial, like a grief type of product where it's got like a picture, a necklace maybe with a circle pendant. It's a picture of their dog and then their name or something on it. It's tough for me to answer this because I'm not sure I totally understand the question. Sorry. All right, Trello.com. Yep, that's the one we were just talking about. How many products should I post daily as a newbie to scale in Q4? Okay. Look, I'm a little bit maniacal about this. One of the things you have to understand is when sales look like this, come on. When this is what sales look like, right? And you know that this represents some fraction of $942 billion, right? My only answer is go freaking crazy. Go crazy. Do as many as you possibly freaking can during this time period to test. Go nuts. So a few years back when I caught my winner on December 5th or whatever, here's literally what my life looked like. Every single day I get up at 5 a.m. I would do nothing but work on designs. From the moment I woke up, I do nothing but work on designs. And I would launch as many tests as I possibly could. I think I was doing like probably 5 to 10 a day. So that was at 5 a.m. I'd do that till 8:30 when I had to leave for work. At work, when I caught my lunch break, I would literally go out to the parking garage, drive my car to the top of the parking garage, turn my cell phone into a hotspot, and I would sit there and make more designs from the top of the parking garage during my lunch break. And I was launching as many tests as I possibly freaking could every single day because I knew I joke about this on some of my Coffee with Michaels. I can literally hear like phantom cash registers during this time of year. I can literally hear these like cha-ching, 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 like these little ghost cha-chings every time I do something. It's like I'm making coffee in the morning, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. It's like I know that transactions are happening right now. I know people are buying ShineOn products right now, and they could be mine if I took the right amount of action and I found a winner, right? That's literally like I get a little bit crazy during this time of year, I'm making lunch. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. I go outside or I'm driving somewhere. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Like that's lit. I can just hear opportunity passing me by. Right? But that's what this time of year represents. It's $942 billion of money pouring into the market, right? And this is what order volume looks like. It's going bananas. It's going bananas. And I desperately, maniacally want to be part of it. Right. So you got to take massive action. So how many? As many as you possibly freaking can. Right. That's the answer. That's the answer. All right. And keep in mind, you might be one product away from finding your winner. That's the other thing you got to think about. So what? Maybe you've done 100 freaking products in the last week and you've worked your little fingers to the bone and you're skipping sleep and you're skipping meals and you're hungry and you're tired and you're exhausted and you haven't found your winner yet. But how do you know your winner isn't this next test? How do you know the next test isn't the one that puts some extra zeros in your bank account? Right? That's how you got to be thinking about this. Go freaking nuts right now. Go freaking nuts right now. There's no other time, part of the year, no other time of year that is like this. The opportunity here is absolutely immense. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. That is happening right now. Right now. ShineOn sales are coming in. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. It's everybody else's products. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Some people are scaling. Scaling literally right now. Cha-ching, cha-ching. There are people having $50,000 days right now. I've talked to them this week. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. That could be you. That could be you. You have to take massive action to get there. You feeling me on that? I hope you're feeling me on that. I'm dead serious. I am dead serious about this. Go freaking nuts, people. All right. Let's see. I'll do like maybe 2 more questions. Let's see here. Where am I at? I've totally lost track of where I was at with questions. So bear with me, people. Wow, I've completely lost where I was at. I'm sorry, everybody. The chat is pretty active. All right, see, what's the targeting when testing phrases ABO purchase broad? Yeah, this question is a little bit jumbled here because you're talking about campaign structure in the first one, like ABO, for example, is campaign structure. Then you're talking about the objective, the campaign objective here, and then you're talking about interest targeting here. So the question is a little bit jumbled, and honestly, it's tough for me to answer. You have to test. You have to test some things. What I would recommend if you need help with this is run through our challenge, right, and get through the challenge really quick. It's not drip content anymore. It's go at your own pace, or sign up for our training and take a learn on demand approach when it comes to our training. Meaning, don't go through the training beginning to end, right? Instead, like whatever step of the process you're having trouble with, go like find modules in our training that answer the question on that step and go consume the information. This is the best advice I can give you right here, because this is like 3 questions in one, right? All right. Let's see. Can you touch a little on advertising? Look, advertising is a huge topic to really cover here. Here's what I would say. Facebook is king of scale. You have to do Facebook if you want to scale and you want to do direct response. Facebook's the only place I know where you can take a product from nothing and run it up to a few million like super fast. TikTok is definitely a close second. They've made a lot of progress over the year. The audience has expanded quite a bit. TikTok's great. TikTok probably has the better algorithm, and you can get away with more on TikTok. The attribution is a little better on TikTok than Facebook, but Facebook still is king of scale. Facebook and TikTok are really where it's at when it comes to paid advertising. Everything else pales in comparison to Facebook and TikTok. So that's really what you want to start with. Again, I'd highly recommend go through the challenge and take some of our training to get really deep into the ad stuff. But remember, ads won't work without a winning product. All right. Let's see here. How long? Okay, this is a great one. I think I'm going to end on this one. How long did it take you to find your winner, and how did you deal with failure? Okay. This is really a mindset question more than anything else. So how long did it take to find my winner? And I've found multiple winners, and each time it took a different amount of time. I can tell you that the longer you're in the game, the easier it gets. Meaning you just get better at learning your audience, learning at creating winning phrases. You get better at interpreting the data as it comes back in your ads manager. You get better at optimizing your pages. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. It's a skill, right? It's a skill. You don't, the first time somebody stands at home plate and swings at a ball, they don't hit a home run, right? That doesn't happen very often. This is a skill set just like anything else. You can't walk out onto a basketball court and dunk from day one. You shouldn't expect necessarily to hit a winner right away. It's a skill set, and it takes time to develop it, but it's an extremely profitable skill set, right? Extremely profitable skill set. So how long did it take? Different length of time every single time. I can tell you that the length of time is going to be it's going to be in direct proportion to two things, right? One, your skill level, and two, how much action you take, right? The more action you take, the faster you're going to get a winner. The higher your skill level, the faster you're going to find a winner, right? That's basically going to be true. Another way to get to like increase your skill set like really fast is to take tons of action, right? When I was in my career I had before, I remember that, I'm a little bit of a freak when it comes to work and stuff. I have a little bit of a problem, but I remember before in my old career that there were people who come in and they would work 7-8 hours a day, right? So 40 hours a week, 2,080 hours a year, roughly is kind of what they would work. Now, I remember that I would work roughly 10 hours a day, right? So I would work 10 hours a day. They would work 8 hours a day. In a given year, I would get like roughly, how many working days are there in a year? Is it 280? I think it is. Yeah. So in a given year, I would get something like, no, that's not right. Hang on, people. I'm going to do the math because I want you to see the analogy here. Yeah, it's 260 times 2. Yeah, in a given year, I'd get an additional 520 hours of work than they would for 10-hour days, right? 10-hour days, 520. If I work 12-hour days, I get 1,000 additional hours of work. That means I would get like 50% more experience than that person, but in the same period of time, right? So what I'm trying to say here, I'm not trying to say go work 10 and 12-hour days. That's not really what I'm trying to say, but I'm trying to say you're going to get back what you put in. The more effort, the more action, the more time you put into this, the faster you'll grow the skill set. Okay. So that's kind of, the answer to question number one as best I can get you. Now, how do you deal with failure? So again, this is a mindset question. Everybody's different. I'm a little bit weird when it comes to this stuff. Here's kind of how I deal with failure. First of all, I lean into it. Failure sucks. Failure hurts. It's uncomfortable. It makes you feel bad and all this stuff. I lean into that. I try to be really weird, and I try to embrace failure. I try to embrace suffering. I try to get really used to discomfort. I want discomfort to be my bedfellow, right? At night. That's kind of how I think about it, because here's the thing is like, if I can get through that, nothing can knock me down, right? If you can embrace discomfort, you can embrace suffering. If you can get used to pain and enduring pain for long periods of time, I mean, literally, what else is life going to throw at you? If you can do that, you can do anything you want in the world, right? Literally anything you want in the world. You have to have this mindset of conquering, this mindset of kind of victory over that stuff. So, I just like to lean into all of that stuff. It might kill you. It might kill you. This is literally something I've told myself before. It might kill you, but it's going to feel better if you're leaning into it, right? That's kind of how I think about that. So how do I get through failure? Step number one is you got to lean into it. You have to do not run from failure. Lean right into it, right? Lean into it, feel, embrace, have the full experience of failure, sit with your discomfort, all that kind of stuff. Now, you need to turn it into motivation, okay? You need to turn all that pain into motivation. So here's one thing you need to remember. If you don't give up for long enough, you win, right? If you're new, you need to write this down. If you do not give up for long enough, you win. If you don't give up for long enough, you win. Write that down. Here's another way of saying it. I cannot lose if I do not quit. I cannot lose if I do not quit, right? So if you don't give up for long enough, you win. I cannot lose if I do not quit. That's what you need to be writing down, right? And you need to remind yourself of this all the time. In print on demand, the truth of the matter is you're going to spend most of your time in defeat. That is the truth, because 99% of your products aren't going to be winners. That is just the truth. By the way, this analogy applies to everything in life. Think of my fishing analogy, right? How often are you going to cast something into the water and catch a fish? Most of the time, you're not catching anything. If you've ever watched somebody fishing before, like in real life, they spend most of their time on the shore just staring at the water, right? That is just the fact. That's how these things work. So most of your time is going to spend in failure. You need to get used to that, but learn how to let that become fuel for action, right? Learn, like, remember when I said you're one product away? Tell yourself that. Tell yourself that. You're literally one product. This product failed. Great. It failed. You just got data back from the marketplace that told you this one is no bueno. It is not a winner. Get that one out of the way. Get a new product out there, right? It's an opportunity. You're one step closer to finding a winner when you do this, right? You're one step closer to finding a winner with every product that fails. That's how you need to think about that. If you don't give up for long enough, you win, right? You need to learn how to turn this stuff into fuel and take action. Remember the phantom cha-ching thing I was telling you about? You know how motivating it is to me when I wake up in the morning and I'm about to hit that snooze button on my phone, but my brain automatically goes cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I start hearing those little phantom cha-chings when I'm about to hit the snooze button on my phone. That is motivating. That is motivating. Train your brain to be your cheerleader on this kind of stuff, right? I hope that, look, maybe I'll do would you guys like a mindset coffee with Michael? A mindset coffee with Michael? Let me know in the chat if you want me to do a mindset coffee with Michael, because I'll do it next week. We'll do a mindset one, okay? Mindset coffee with Michael next week. Type mindset in the chat if you're interested in that. Let me know if you're interested in that. Let me know if you're interested in that. Mindset in the chat if you need help with mindset here, because I'll do that. I'll do that. Got some yeses. Got mindset. Yes, mindset, mindset, mindset. Okay. We got some mindsets. Mindsets. All right. Okay. All right. Cool. We'll do some mindset next week. I'm going to end today with a quote. This is for Montez here. I'm going to end today with a quote, but it's going to help everybody here. It's going to help everybody. Next week, we'll do mindset. How about that? All right. Okay, we're going to end today with a quote. This is one of my favorite quotes of all time. It's by Jeff Bezos. What I'm about to read applies 100% to print on demand, 100% to ShineOn. You are literally right now listening to this. You literally have what I think is the greatest entrepreneurial opportunity of all time at your fingertips. Of all time, right? Think of all the people on the planet. Billions of people on the planet. But you, for some reason, right now, are listening to this Coffee with Michael. You've discovered ShineOn. You've discovered e-commerce. It is Q4 where sales are like stealing candy from a baby. It is the best entrepreneurial opportunity in the history of the world, okay? In the history of the world. I'm going to read you a quote. This is what we're going to end on. You guys ready? I want you to leave motivated today. Here we go. Outsized returns often come from betting against conventional wisdom. And conventional wisdom is usually right. Given a 10% chance of 100 times payoff, you should take that bet every time. But you're still going to be wrong 9 times out of 10. You're still going to fail the majority of the time, right? We all know that if you swing for the fences, you're going to strike out a lot, but you're also going to hit some home runs. The difference between baseball and business, or ShineOn, however, is that baseball has a truncated outcome distribution. When you swing, no matter how well you connect with the ball, the most runs you can get is 4. In business, every once in a while, when you step up to the plate, you can score 1,000 runs. This long-tailed distribution of returns is why it's important to be bold. Big winners pay for so many experiments, right? So here's the takeaway. If you have 100 tests, 99 of them may be a failure, but one of them will not only pay for all the 99 that were failures, but the 999,000 tests you're going to do in the future, right? Because that's how big the winners are. Sometimes every now and then with ShineOn, you find one winner and you make millions in revenue, millions in revenue. That's the takeaway for today. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this Coffee with Michael. I sure have enjoyed my time with you. Next week, make sure you tune in because we'll do some mindset, and I'll see you there. Until next time, happy selling, everybody. Peace.